Hays Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hays Larks. Hays Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hays Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hays Larks. Hays Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hays Larks. Hays Larks!
You're tuned in to the Larks Network.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to game number 16 of the 2019 Hays Larks season. This is game 2 of the 4-game series for the Larks against the Liberal BJs. The guy leading it off is Drake Angeron. Larks lost their first game in 13 games. They lost game 2 against the Cougars. They're here for game number 16. Lost that game against the Cougars. It was a late game going back and forth. Higher scoring one compared to last night's. Last game was Larks started off hot, scored 3 in the first 3 innings, and then let Liberal score 4 in the bottom of the 4th, and that was a big setback. Larks lost the momentum, struggled to get back in it, finally got something going for them, and then just couldn't keep it together at the end. They lost their first game in the KCLB, now 12-1, 4-1 in Jayhawk West play. 2-1 to Andron, fouled back, 2-2. On deck is Matt Cavanaugh, and in the hole is the guy on the mound tonight for the Larks, Wyatt Divis. On the mound for the BJs, it's Cole Evans. He's from Liberal, Kansas, played his college ball right here at Seward County Community College. Drake Angeron, the guy at the plate, also has played at this field along with Cole Evans, but they were on different teams just as they are tonight. The full count delivery is hit high into shallow left field. Getting under it is Shepherdson, the starting shortstop. 1 up, 1 down to start off the game for your Larks. Evans' first pitch to Cavanaugh misses high and outside, 1-0. Evans coming into this one has thrown 9 innings, struck out just as many batters as innings pitched. 4 walks, 6 guys have hit off of him. Has an ERA of 3 flat, 3 earned runs. 1-1. Cavanaugh on the season, batting .339, 25 total bases. The 1-1 delivery is fouled out of play. 1-2. Larks sporting their new red camo jersey with the blue stripe down the side and blue lettering, white trimming. It's only the second game they've broken these out. Both teams wearing a camo-styled uniform. This one goes over Cavanaugh's head. BJ's wearing their red, white, and baby blue camo uniforms. 2-2 to the righty. Evans will go from the windup. This one is outside, full count. Larks have no guys listed on their bench tonight. Brooke Brandon's out with a hamstring injury. Justin Lee's out with an ankle injury. Skylar Luna's still out. Michael Wong has been shut down by his coaches at UTA. Looks like that's the end of Wong's season with the Larks. He headed home already. And Gangwish is out tonight as well. He was ejected from last night's game. Can't play tonight. Full count to Cavanaugh. That's the thing that really stinks about having a shallow roster for the Larks. They have nobody left. BJs have a full roster. Almost 5 or 6 more guys than them. Runner on first for Wyatt Divis. It's a walk for Cavanaugh. That's walk number 5 on the season for Matt. They're going to check over at him. Not in time. Larks lost last night. That was Rustin Hayes' second loss of the season. He's 1-2. Christian Piercy getting his first no decision. He's still 3-0. First pitch to Divis is high, 1-0. Divis and Cavanaugh played at UTA under the same coaches that shut down Michael Wong. Check over at Cavanaugh. It gets past the glove of Truslow. Cavanaugh's going to advance into scoring position with 1 away. With that runner in scoring position for Divis, great RBI opportunity. It'd only help himself out as he's the guy on the mound and would be RBI number 16 on the season. Evans will look over at Kavanaugh on second. Go from the stretch. The 1-0 delivery misses low and in the dirt. 2-0. Storms projected this evening and night here in Liberal. We'll see if that has any effect on the length of this game. It's starting to cool off in Liberal, Kansas at Brent Gold Field. It's 80 degrees with a 3-mile-an-hour wind moving over into right field. It's 3-0 to Divis. Divis, the lefty. On deck is Alex Strachan. Normally that's Gangwich's spot, as I mentioned. He's ineligible tonight. Sutherland is in the hole. Taking his Divis, it's 3-1. When Cole Evans walked out onto the mound after they announced his name, he got the biggest ovation from any player when they announced this is his hometown crowd supporting him. It's a sparse crowd tonight, less people here than there were last night. About a third to a quarter full. The 3-1 delivery, swinging as Divis pops it way out of play, full count. In last night's ballgame, Divis was the DH. Went 0 for 4 with 2 groundouts and 2 flyouts. The 3-2, he's swinging at that one, fouls it off again. We'll reset for pitch number 7. Evans was a second-team All-Jayhawk West as a pitcher, and he was a WAC conference MVP in the same conference where Coach Leo, Coach Harper, Coach Sedbrook, and Murphy coach Hays High. He was also an All-State, all-time home run leader for the Liberal Redskins. And it's a strikeout for Divis, 2 away. Excuse me, scoreboard change. Divis heads to first base with the walk. Back-to-back walks for Evans. That is 5 and 6 on the season for the righty. Has a pitcher's frame. He stands at 6'5", weighing in at 240. They're going to call this strike 1 to Strachan. Strachan doesn't quite agree with it. He'll have a silent protest and step back in for his 0-1 delivery. Evans delivers it. It's in the dirt in front of the left-hander's batter's box, 1-1. The 1-1 delivery misses high. It's 2-1. It's harder to miss high on a guy like Alex Strachan. Has one of the taller frames for the Larks. He's a 6'2", 225 sophomore from JSU. He turns on this one. Moore can't get a glove on it on the third base side. Matt Kavanaugh is going to be held at third. Bases are loaded with 1 away. Back-to-back walks and a single. George Sutherland is the man up now. 1 for 1 now is Strachan on the day. Last night's ball game, he had the day off. It's his first hit this series. Sutherland wasn't off last night. He started in right field. Had a walk, 2 singles, and a flyout. Scored 1 and drove in 1. Looking to add to that RBI total here. The first pitch to him misses low and outside, 1-0. Sutherland batting .429 on the season, second on the team behind Justin Lee, who's out with an injury. Lee batting .431. Sutherland hits his deep right center field. Stacy gets under it. He was a pinch runner in last night's game. Matt Kavanaugh's going to come home. Larks take a 1-0 lead. Runners on the corners as Divis tags and heads to third. That's RBI on the season for Sutherland, number 15. Run for Kavanaugh, number 16. Up next is Jared Belbin, the right fielder, batting in the 6th hole. He started all games coming into this series at first base from the DH spot. Started at second base last night, and he's getting a start at that 9th spot tonight, 1-0. That's what summer ball is all about for some of these guys, getting more reps and more experience at different positions. It's 2-0. That was something Matt Kavanaugh was talking about. If you go on the Larks Twitter, you can follow it, see an interview talking about how he was considered a defensive replacement at UTA, but he's getting a lot of at-bats here for the Larks, and it's a good experience for the young shortstop. 2-0 after the check on Strachan is not in time. (2-0) to Belbin. Outside, 3-0. It's a second 3-0 count here. Divis had a 3-0 count. He walked. He now stands on third. Evans checks over at Strachan with a peek. Delivers to Belbin. Belbin's taking this one at the knees, 3-1. The hitter's count, delivery to Belbin, misses high on the lefty. Walking the bases loaded is Evans. 3 walks through the first inning. That's number 7 on the season through 9 2/3 for Evans. Bases are loaded. Belbin at first, Divis at second. Divis at third, Strachan's at second. Not exactly what you want to see for the BJs and the coaching dugout. Coaching emerging for a mound visit in just the first inning with 2 away. Larks had a similar situation in terms of a mound meeting in the first inning in Game 4 of the Park City Rangers game. 10 earned runs from Nash Neff. Larks came back, rallied, scored 12 unanswered, won it 18-12. Bases are loaded for Hernan Yanez, the switch hitter, hitting from the left side. Yanez coming to this one, batting .289, 38 at-bats, 11 hits, and just as many runs scored. First delivery to him, catches the inside part of the plate. It's 0-1. Evans agrees with the sign from Beard. The delivery to Yanez swung at. It gets right past Beard, but it doesn't go more than a foot away, holding the runners where they're at. 0-2 count here on Hernan Yanez. The 0-2 delivery. Outside, 1-2. Laying off is Yanez. On deck is Max McGuire. In the hole is Jimmy DeLeon. Yanez getting the start at third base. Started at third base last night. Had to take over the catcher duties with the ejection from Gangwish in the 7th. He swings at this one. 4-pitch strikeout to end the top of the first. Larks score 1. Leave the bases loaded. We'll head to the bottom of the first here on Larks Network. Larks up 1-0. Bottom of the first. Man on the mound is Wyatt Divis. First batter he'll face is the leadoff left fielder, Shane Sardashny. First pitch to Sardashny, called strike one, 0-1. Divis coming in this one, 3 appearances, 2-0 record. The KCLB website showing his stats that I believe to be very incorrect. 6 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts, 3 walks, 3 hits, 1 earned, and a 1.5 ERA. Now, that 6 inning pitched, I don't know about the rest of them, has to be incorrect. He pitched 5 in just the Dodge City game and then had 5 or 6 in the Clearwater game. This one's flown out to Andron in center field for out number 1. Brandon Holdren had the night off for the BJs last night. He's batting in the 2-hole, playing second base. Defensively for your Larks, it's George Sutherland in left field, taking over the position from Justin Lee out with an injury. Drake Andron in center field. Jared Belbin getting his first start in right field. Hernan Yanez at third. Kavanaugh at short. DeLeon at second. Strachan at first. Max McGuire's the man behind the plate. 0-1 here to Holdren. Holdren played at Ranger College. He's from Texas. The 0-1 delivery swung on, grounded over to DeLeon. DeLeon goes to his left, gets it in time to Strachan. 2 up, 2 down in the bottom of the first for the BJs. Corbin Truslow's the guy at the plate now. In last night's game, Truslow went 1 for 3 with a walk and a line out and a pop-up. Scored 1 time on that single in the 4th, getting his first look at Divis, who's retired the BJs in order. This is a strike 1 called. Oh, 1, a nice pitch from Divis at breaking ball, missed low, 1-1. Truslow on the season, batting .255, 9 strikeouts, and 13 RBIs. Leads the team in hit by pitches with 3. Swings at this one, fouls it off, 1-2. Liberal is 10-4 on the season. 1-0 in Jayhawk West to play. Picking up their first win in the division last night. A 5-4 victory against the Larks. Nobody on, 2 away, 1-2 count to the first baseman. The 1-2, he fouls it off the dirt, comes around, hits him in the shin. He'll take a couple steps, compose himself, get back ready for the 1-2 delivery for pitch number 5 of this at-bat. Divis is from Lincoln, Nebraska, just like the man behind the plate that he's throwing to, Max McGuire. Both are Hutchinson Community College players. Divis played there after sophomore year, goes to UTA for his junior year, and his time there in his junior year, 6.2 flat ERA, 5-0 record, held his opponents to a .323 batting average. The 1-2 swung on out of play. Will have at least 6 pitches this at bat. He gets the sign from McGuire, who'll deliver from the stretch with nobody on. Shakes one off. Agrees on one. He fires this one in. It's swung at and foul tipped off the end of the bat. Truslow is from Georgetown, Texas, played at GCCC. 7th pitch to him, grounded over to DeLeon again. Back-to-back ground outs to DeLeon at the second base spot for out number 3. We'll head to the top of the first here on Larks Network. Larks lead the BJs 1-0. Top of the second here at Brent Goldfield in Liberal, Kansas. Leading it off is Max McGuire. Larks left 3 on base in the last inning, walked 3 times, scored just 1. Similar to how they started off the game last night against the BJs, scoring 1 in the top of the first, holding the BJs to 0 in the bottom of the inning. First pitch to McGuire, called strike 1. Larks fans, don't forget to follow the Larks on Twitter and Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube. Doesn't cost you a thing to do any of those. Off-speed curveball in there for called strike 2. McGuire was coming into this game with one of the fewest at-bats on the team, only 11. That's the fewest for the position players. Nash Neff and Michael Wong both have 1. 1 and 2 on the guy, hitting .364. Evans delivers from the stretch. This one misses high at eye level of McGuire. It's 2-2. McGuire from Lincoln, Nebraska, played at Hutch Community College. This one misses high. It's full count. He's a 6'2 sophomore there, batted .236, hit 6 home runs, 30 RBIs, 33 run scores. He stole 2 bases. Still looking for his first stolen base of the season. The full count delivery misses outside. A way to work the count is McGuire was down 0-2. Didn't swing the bat once at a bat. It's a 6-pitch walk to start off the top of the second. Walk number 4 for Cole Evans tonight. Make it 8 on the season. Up next is Jimmy DeLeon, starting second baseman for your Larks. JDL in the season, batting .327, 8 RBIs, has walked 10 times, 19 total bases. He takes strike 1. 8 pitches for Cole Evans this inning. Larks haven't swung at a single one. We're going to check over at McGuire on first, not in time. Larks 4-1 in Jayhawk West Division, 12-1 KCLB, undefeated, 8 straight wins in the South Central Division. They're on a 1-game losing streak. Liberals on a 1-game winning streak. This one goes over the head of DeLeon, almost caught him. It's 1-1. Evans looks over at McGuire, takes a peek over his shoulder again. Another one. Delivers to DeLeon, who turns and hits this one hard and powerful over the left side, but it's fouling out of play. 1-2 on the second baseman from El Paso, Texas. Danion with 6A All-State in his time at high school. This season for the Larks, 2 doubles, 15 singles, making for 17 hits, 15 runs scored. The 1-2 delivery swung at this one. It's in the dirt. McGuire goes for second. He's going to be out by a few feet. Double play for the BJs to get 2 away in the top of the second. Back to the top of the order. It's Drake Andron. Popped up in the first inning to start the game to Shepherdson. He's looking to continue his hit streak tonight. This is inside 1-0. Not only does Andron lead the Jayhawk West Division hits, he leads the entire KCLB with 28. And this is number 29. It's over the glove of Holdren at second base. Add on to that hitting streak, young man. It's a runner on first with 2 away for the Larks. Kavanaugh, the guy who walked in the first, came around to score the only run of this game at the plate now. Andron has speed over at first base. See if he decides to do anything. He's third in the league in stolen bases. Justin Lee, the guy who's injured, leads the league. Garrett Thornton from the Heat in second. Justin Lee, second in the KCLB in hits, has 25. Sutherland in third, 21. Matt Kavanaugh, the guy at the plate, has 20. First 4 guys in the leaders for hits all play for the boys in red and blue. Andron has a stance like he's looking to go. He won't on this one. It's outside and loaded. Kavanaugh, it's 2-0. Kavanaugh, 59 at-bats, 15 runs scored, 20 hits. He added to his total of runs in the last inning. It's called strike 1 here in the top of the second. 16 runs on the season for Kavanaugh. Total bases for Andron, 39 now. Larks have 2 hits. BJs have none, and the BJs have an error on the scoreboard. Check over at Andron, not in time. 2 away, top of the second. Larks lead Liberal 1-0. The 2-1 to Kavanaugh. Andron's going. It's inside part of the plate. Called strike 2. He's about to throw his beard. Loses his grip as he's about to go. Stolen base number 10 on the season for Andron. That ties him with Justin Lee for the most in the entire league. Runner in scoring position now. Andron at second base. RBI situation for Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh comes into this one with 15. It's a called strike 3 on Kavanaugh. A runner will be left on base as we head to the bottom of the third here on Larks Network. Your Larks lead it 1-0. Bottom of the second we go. Wyatt Divis returns the mound. First guy he'll face off against is the DH. Heading in the cleanup spot is Cade Ward. 5th in the league in hits. Has 20. He's tied with Matt Cavanaugh actually in 4th place. He's listed as 5th place. And 3rd is George Sutherland. Justin Lee in 2nd. Andron in 1st. First for guys. All Larks. 1-0 delivery hit into left center field. That breaks the tie with Cavanaugh. He now stands in 4th alone with 21. And that's the first hit of the game for BJ's. Wyatt Divis got the BJ's to go down in order with a flyout from Sardashny to start the bottom of the first, and back-to-back groundouts to De Leon from Hodron and Truslow. Up next is number 24, the third baseman, Colton Moore. Moore on the season, batting .381 through 21 at-bats. You can see why the Larks lead the entire league in hits with 187 coming into this one. As mentioned, the first 4 guys, all Larks. Also lead the league in runs and triples, tied with the Dodge City A's. Most total bases, they're 55 ahead of the BJ's for most coming into this one. It's 2-0 the count on the right-handed hitting Colton Moore. Two and one now against Moore. Cade Ward's at first base. Justin Quinn on deck. Trevor Beard in the hole. Colt Moore didn't appear in last night's game. It's 3-1 hitters count to him now. Ward has now 3 singles in the series. He's 3 for 6 in the series alone. Delivery from Davis, swung on, taking a hack at it is Moore, not successful. It's full count to him. This is game 2 of this series. Larks dropped the first one. We'll be back here on Larks Network for game 3 and 4. First pitch is at 7 o'clock. Swinging at the 3-2 delivery is Moore. That's a strikeout here. The first on the day for Divis. Justin Quinn, not in last night's game. He's the starting right fielder for the BJ's tonight. As strike 1 on him. Quinn is from Chandler, Arizona, played at South Mountain Community College. Runner takes off at first. It's Ward. Fouling it off is Quinn. It's 0-2. One away here. Runner on first. BJ's down against the Larks 1-0. It's a historic series dating back to the first year of the Jayhawk League. Jayhawk League broke up last year. Both teams joined the KCLB to start the Jayhawk West Division with the Dodge City A's. The 0-2 swinging at it is Quinn. Back-to-back strikeouts for Wyatt Divis. It's Trevor Beard at the plate now. Last night's game, Beard had 3 singles, 2 RBIs, 1 run scored, and a ground out to De Leon in the second inning of that game. He steps here, getting his first look at Divis. First delivery at the shoulders, 1-0. Beard batting .385, 26 at-bats, 10 hits, 9 of those being singles for 11 total bases with a double. He's the catcher tonight, and it's 2-0 on him. Divis will look over at Ward, who's still on first base. 2-0 delivery. Outside part of the plate, it's 2-1. Game moving along. at a decent pace at 7:39 here in Liberal, Kansas. The 2-1 to him. He's swinging at this one. Fouls it at the net on the right side of the infield. It's 2-2. Angeron, a little bit of a shift in center. He's playing to his right side of the second base bag out there in front of the 400 markers in center field. The 2-2 outside. McGuire tries to frame it. It's full count. Full count, 2 away. Larks scored 1 in the first, scoreless in the second. BJ scoreless here with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Davis will deliver the full count after agreeing with the sign from McGuire. Checking off is the runner at first base with a full count, 2 away. Ward won't matter as it's a walk for Beer, the first walk of the game for Davis. To the 7 hole now, it's Aiden Shepardson. Shepardson hitting the 8 hole yesterday. He was 2 for 3 with a fly out, a sacrifice fly, and 2 doubles. This is his first look at Davis. He'll go from the stretch, taking a couple peeks at Ward. Delivers this one in, and Shepardson fouls it off. 0-1. Shepardson on the season batting .286, 9 singles, making for 12 hits with those 2 doubles and a home run. The 0-1 from Davis, swinging at it is Shepardson. It's over to the right-handed side of the infield. Strachan goes over there to get it. It's out of play. 0-2 now with 2 away. Runners on first and second. Had that catch in the top of the 9th against Andrew on that Rodham of a base hit. Andrews representing the game-tying run, and that was out number 2. It was a beautiful catch. You can go and watch the replay of it on Larks Network here on our YouTube channel. Just click on the video, go to the 9th. You'll see it, and while you're here, you might as well subscribe. All it does is take 1 click, and you'll stay up to date with all things Larks. Help us reach our subscriber goal of 1,000. We can embed the videos on the homepage of the Larks website. The 1-2 from Davis, swinging at it is Shepardson. It's in left center field. Sutherland races to it. It bounces in front of him. Beard comes around to score. It's a 1-1 ball game here in the bottom of the second. RBI base hit for Shepardson. Coming around to score is Ward. It's an earned run for Davis. That was RBI for Shepardson. Number 10 on the season for Ward. That's run scored. Number 17 leads the BJ's. Closest is Shepardson with 13. This one misses high, 1-0. Tristan Stacy was the pinch runner late in the game against the Larks. He's batting .316 through 19 at-bats and 7 games played. The 1-0 delivery to him. He swings at it, hits into right center field to get in front of Belbin. Runners will be held at third, second, and first. Bases are loaded with 2 away for the top of the order, Shane Stradashny. All 3 hits for the BJs this game are in this inning and all singles. So at third base is Trevor Beard. On second is Shepardson. Tristan Stacy's on first. Stradashny's at the plate. Holdren on deck. Truslow in the hole. 2 away. Bases are loaded. Checking his swing. It's called strike 1. Stradashny was coming to this one, batting .273, 6 RBIs and 6 walks. He swings at this one. Kavanaugh makes a nice dive over there to get it and record the out at second on the toss to DeLeon. Nice play to Kavanaugh to leave 2 stranded on first and third. We'll head to the top of the third. BJs get 1 off the Divis in the bottom of the second. You're tuned in to Larks Network. Top of the third here on Larks Network. Divis is leading it off. First pitch from Evans, the hometown kid, outside part of the plate, called strike 1. Divis walked in the first, was stranded at third. Larks left 3 on base, bases loaded. Left 1 on base in the second. 4 guys left on base this game early. 1-1 count to Divis. Evans delivers from the windup. Swinging at it is Divis. Hits it into left field deep. Serdashny getting under it, and he'll make the catch for out number 1.
Now at the bat, number 23,
Alex Strachan at the plate now. Had a single in the first. Reached second base. Was stranded there. Strachan coming to this game through 12 at-bats, 250 batting average. This one hits his helmet. It's a hit by pitch for Strachan, his first of the season. That's hit batter for Cole Evans. Number
Now up the bat, number 8.
That's the first one for Evans on the season. One away, runner on first, and Alex Strachan for George Sutherland. Sutherland had that sacrifice fly RBI in the first. Brought around Matt Kavanaugh, who was at third base. Kavanaugh ended the top of the second inning with a strikeout. First pitch to Sutherland, a curveball, misses outside, 1-0. Be interesting to see how Larks will work the bullpen tonight. They have a shallow bullpen as it is in terms of number of pitchers, but all 3 catchers for the Larks taken up. Mikey Ganglish is out. He can't play tonight after being ejected last night. Yanez is at third base. Max McGuire is the starting catcher. It's 1-1 on Sutherland, so see if they have to throw a position or another pitcher out there to catch, because all their position players are taken up, either hurt or on the field. One away, runner on first. The delivery to Sutherland, high and outside. Catching it over his head is Beard. Defensively for the BJs, Trustlow at first, Holdren at second, Shepardson at short. Beard behind the plate, Moore at third, Sardashian in left, Stacy in center, and Quinn in right field. The 2-1, swing out of Sutherland. He hits it to right center field. Stacy going under it. He makes the catch for out number 2. Sutherland goes for 0-1 on the day.
Now at the bat, number 26.
Jared Belbin, the right fielder tonight, up for his second appearance at the plate. Walked in the first. That walked, the base is loaded. Yanesh struck out to leave 3 on. 2 away here for the Australian left-handed first baseman. Delivery to him. He takes it, strike 1. The 0-1 to Belbin. Outside part of the plate again. No swing. 2 strikes on Belbin. Belbin was coming in this one batting .315, is still batting .315 after his walk, and that was number 10 on the season. Gangwish leads the league and leads the team with 21 walks. It's 0-2. He swings at this one. Will stay alive. It's 0-2 for the 4th pitch of the inning. Excuse me, of the at-bat. (0-2) on Belbin. Strachan still at first base. Evans takes a peek at him. Belbin thinks about going around, checks his swing about a third of the way through. It's 1-2. Tied here at 1. Larks scored 1 in the first. BJ's 1 in the second. Larks looking to add their total here. It's 1-2 count to Belbin. They're going to check over at Strachan, who is only a step off the base. Larks have 2 hits in this game, 3 walks, a hit by pitch, 1 run scored, 4 left on base. Belbin swings at this one, hits into center field. Stacy takes a few steps back, now a couple forward. That is back-to-back flyouts to center field. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd. This is Carson Ackerman on call for Larks Network. Larks and BJ's tied at 1. Bottom of the 3rd here on Larks Network. BJ's and Larks tied up at 1. Divis returning to the mound. Struck out 2 last inning, adding to his total, making 10 according to the KCLB website. Had 3 hits for the BJ's last inning. All 3 of those singles. They left 2 on base. Leading it off is the guy who's batting in the 2 hole. It's Brandon Holdren, second baseman. Grounded out in the first. It's 0-1 here on him now. Coming into this game for Holdren, he was batting .317, 7 singles, 13 hits, 5 doubles, and a home run. 1-1. Davis came in this game with a 1.5 ERA according to the KCLB website. I believe that's incorrect. This one is swung on. Kavanaugh takes a couple steps to his left, outstretches his glove, and it's out number 1.
Number 36, Corbin Trustlow.
Kavanaugh at shortstop had that nice play to end the second inning, making that diving catch, tossing it to De Leon. Up next is Corbin Trustlow, one of the guys who grounded out to De Leon back-to-back in the first. 0 for 1 on the day. Starting first baseman, getting his second look at Davis here. Nobody on, 1 away. Bottom of the third, BJs and Larks tied at 1. The delivery from Davis. A nice pitch outside part of the plate. 0-1. Trustlow scored 8 times this season. 47 at-bats. He's batting .255. That's gone down since it started. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Second pitch to him this inning, inside, 1-1. One away, nobody on. Kavanaugh shifting. He's close to that second base bag. This one caught the outside part of the plate. A moving pitch from Davis. It's called strike 2, 1-2 count. Between injuries and a lack of depth, Larks can't afford to have anybody lost tonight. Nobody on bench for them. This one is grounded over to the right side. Strachan going to get it. Tags Holdren. I'm going to say that's out number 2.
Number 18, Hays Larks.
2 away for Cade Ward. Guy batting in the cleanup spot. Led off the second inning with a single. He came around to score on the base hit from Aiden Shepardson. Cade Ward was coming to this one batting .408, leading the BJs. Third on the BJs. Williams and Dickman lead him. He has 49 at-bats, 16 runs scored. First pitch from Davis. Off speed, misses low, 1-0. 7:57 p.m. here in Liberal, Kansas. First pitch was just at 7 o'clock. The 1-0 delivery, outside and low, 2-0. Wind starting to pick up. It was moving into right field. Now it's moving in from center. Davis composed himself, delivers a 2-0. It's a mile-high foul ball, 2-1.
Please return all foul balls to concession stand and claim your prize.
Davis, the utility guy on the mound. Started at DH last night. I started a few games in left field. Started a majority at the third base spot. Brooke Brandon took over those duties in the Park City Rangers City series, and it's Hernan Yanez tonight. 3-1 count now. Hitters count for Cade Ward. The delivery is swung on and missed. It's full count with 2 away and nobody on Cade Ward. Ward, originally from Fort Worth, Texas, played at SCCC here in Seward County. Full count delivery, misses low. It's a 6-pitch walk for Ward. Second walk of the game for Davis. Runner on first with 2 away. Guy in the 5 hole is the third baseman, Colton Moore. He's 0 for 1 of the day. This is the first strikeout for Davis to start this game. Larks grabbed 1 in the first on the George Sutherland sacrifice fly. Liberal bounced back in the next inning, scoring 1 on the Shepardson single. It's 0-1, called strike 1 on Moore. And And it's called strike 2. Pitch in a similar spot, different speeds. Both count as the same amount of strikes. 0-2. Davis threw 2 2/3, has allowed 3 hits, walked 2 guys, has made the BJs leave 2 on base through those first 2 innings. It's one high and outside, 1-2. We'll be back here on Larks Network for Game 3 tomorrow night and Game 4 on Thursday night. Larks will get Friday off. They'll be back at Larks Park on Saturday, taking on the Valley Center Mud Daubers. The 1-2 swung on and missed. That's strikeout number 3 on the day for Wyatt Davis. We'll head to the top of the 4th here on Larks Network. Larks and BJs tied at 1. Leading off the top of the 4th for the Larks is the switch hitter, third baseman, Hernan Yanez. Struck out in the first to in the top of the 1st for the Larks. He'll hit from the left-hand side again for his second look at Cole Evans. Larks fans, don't forget to follow the Larks on Twitter and Facebook and subscribe on YouTube. The first pitch to Yanez misses high, 1-0. If you follow the Larks on Facebook, you can see cool stats such as this day in history, known yet today, won last night on June 17th. It's 1-1. The 1-1 to Yanez misses high, 2-1. Yanez from San Luis, Arizona, played at Cochise with DeLeon, Lee, and Sutherland. Justin Lee missing from the lineup with an ankle injury. Injured it in last night's ball game. Stuck it out, finished the game. Yanez hits this one hard into left center field. Sardashny gets under it for out number 1. Back-to-back innings, the Larks have started off with a flyout to Sardashny in left field. 1 away, nobody on for Max McGuire. He walked in the second to lead it off. Didn't get farther than first base. They struck out DeLeon, a pitch that got past the catcher, Beard. It was only a few feet away from, however, it was in time to catch McGuire out a few feet ahead of him. 0-1 is the count to McGuire here in the top of the 4th. He swings at this one, fouls it out of play, 0-2 quick on him. Larks' 12-game win streak ended last night, looking to start a new one here today. They're 13-2 overall. Loss from the BJs and 1 from the Denver Cougars, who the Larks will see again in July. It's called strike 3. 3-pitch strikeout for McGuire. The 4th of the game for Cole Evans, making it 13 on the season. Jimmy DeLeon, the guy at the plate now, one of those strikeouts today. That was in the second inning. Stacy and Sardashny giving it chase. Stacy dives, can't get it, loses his hat as DeLeon rounds first. It's a stand-up 2-out double for DeLeon. That's his first hit of the game tonight. He stands on second as the go-ahead runner in scoring position. That's hit for DeLeon, number 18 on the season, his third double. Back to the top of the order, it's Drake Angeron, 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a pop-up. He leads the entire league in hits, has 29, tied for first in stolen bases with Justin Lee, each with 10. Looking to pick up RBI number 20 as the go-ahead run stands 180 feet away from home plate. Shows bunt, pulls it back, it's strike one called. Angeron from Morgan City, Louisiana, played at Dodge City Community College. He's familiar with this field. They played here against Seward County. It's 1-1. He'll be going to Fort Hays next season, joining Larks pitcher Ryan Reuter. We'll likely see Reuter in this series coming out of the pen. The 1-1 to Angeron. He turns on it, lines it into right field. That's at least 2 bases for Angeron. Coming around to score is DeLeon. It's an RBI double for Drake Angeron with two-way. Larks take a 2-1 lead against their rival, the Liberal BJs.
Now up to bat, number 3, Matt Kavanaugh.
Two away, runner on second base, and the speedy center fielder, Drake Angeron. Matt Kavanaugh's the guy at the plate now. That was RBI for Angeron, number 13. Run scored number 16 for DeLeon. First pitch to Kavanaugh inside in front of his eyes, 1-0. A lot on the line in this series. Winner gets that automatic berth to the NBC Championship week. Larks 4-1 in Jayhawk West Division play have a one-game lead in the standings on the BJs, who are 1-0. 2-0 now to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh's flashed his glove a lot earlier in this game. Had that diving catch in the second. Another nice line drive play in the third. He's a 2-time All-District Defensive Player of the Year in his time at Keller High School. It's now 3-0 as he takes ball 3 looking. Larks have 4 hits through 3 2/3 innings against Cole Evans. That's hits numbers 7, 8, 9, and 10 for the righty from Liberal, Kansas. He has a lot of supporters here tonight with him. Crowd got its loudest in the past 2 games when they announced his name coming out of the dugout. The 3-0 delivery to Kavanaugh. He's taking all the way. Catches the outside part of the plate. Hitters count now for Matt Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh played at UTA with the guy on deck, Wyatt Davis, and along with Michael Wong, whose coaches shutted him down. He's done with the Larks for the 2019 season. Evans shakes off a couple from Beard, gets set, and he'll deliver the 3-1. Not without checking over to Angeron at second. Does a 180, throws, and it's not in time. Should Kavanaugh get Angeron home, that would be run scored number 20 for Angeron. He's second on the team in terms of run behind Mikey Gangwish, who leads the entire KCLB with 23. (3-1) in the dirt. Beard keeps it in front of him and keeping Angeron on second. It's a 5-pitch walk for Matt Kavanaugh. That's walk number 4 on the game for the Larks. Evans struggled early, allowed 3 walks in just the first inning. 2 away for the guy in the 3 spot. It's Wyatt Davis. Davis 0 for 1 on the day with a flyout and a walk. Reached third, was left on base on the Yanez strikeout in the top of the first. Evans will deliver from the stretch. He's a 6'5" righty facing against the lefty. He swings at this one. Truslow handles it at first base, and he'll tag the bag himself for out number 3. Larks get one on the Drake Angeron double. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th here on Larks Network. Larks lead the BJs 4-1. Bottom of the 4th we go here on Larks Network. Leading it off is Justin Quinn, the right fielder, struck out against Davis in the 2nd. Larks have left 7 on base through the first 4 innings of play. Have just 4 hits, 2 runs against the Liberals, 1 run and 3 hits. Larks no errors, BJ's 1. First pitch to Quinn, swung on a miss. It's 0-1 count on him early. On deck is Trevor Beard, who walked in the 2nd, and Aiden Shepherdson in the hole. Turns on this one, hits into right field. It'll bounce down 10 feet in front of Belbin for a leadoff base hit. First hit of the game for Quinn. Up next is Trevor Beard. Runner on first with nobody out. For Quinn, that was hit number 7 through 38 at bats. Beard at the plate, no statistical at bat this game. Walked in that 2nd, reached third base, was left there. First pitch from Davis, a heater in the zone, 0-1. For him in that 2nd inning, it was walk number 6. And check over at Quinn at first base, not in time. Davis delivers from the stretch, hasn't delivered from the windup once tonight. This one is swung on, hit into right field and foul. 0-2. Nice to have outfield lines so the umpires have to make a judgment call in that Clearwater series. No outfield lines, a couple controversial calls. This is only the 2nd time the Larks have played on a dirt infield. That was in Clearwater. Every other stadium, whether it was in Augusta or Dodger and Hays, turf, infield, and base paths. 0-2 delivery, a breaking ball misses. It's 1-2. Check over, throw to Strachan. Not in time, 1-2. Davis going to tie his shoe before he delivers the pitch. Another check over at first. This one not in time. Strachan at first base. Wasn't in action in last night's game. Belbin was the first baseman. Belbin's moved out into right field. Belbin was at second base in last night's ball game. Now is the first time for Belbin not starting at first base from the DH spot. 2-2 now on Beard. First baseman for the Larks was Belbin last night, and he was moved over to second base. Time called by Beard. Will reset, deliver the 2-2 with a runner on first and nobody out. Bottom of the fourth, Larks up against the rivals, the BJs, 2-1. 2-2 delivery, swung on, hit into center field. Andrew going to take a few steps to his right and back. Out number 1 on the F8.
Now up to bat, number 12,
Aiden Shepardson had that RBI single in the second. Only run for the BJs thus far. One away here for Divis and company. Divis agrees from the sign from McGuire, both Lincoln, Nebraska natives. It's fouled off. 77 degrees here in Louisville, Kansas. It's cooled off. Storm still in the forecast. We'll see how that plays out. Larks have had 2 games end due to the weather. One, the Park City Ranger series, and Game 2 with Divis on the mound in the Dodge City series. That was Divis' first win on the season in his first appearance. The 0-1 delivery fouled off again, 0-2. McGuire and Divis, both from Lincoln, Nebraska, both have played at Hutch Community College. Both Blue Dragons here playing for the Larks. Divis will check over again at the runner. Quinn. Beard flew out to Andreon. It's not in time. BJs have left 3 on base through the first 3 innings. 3 hits, 2 walks. Runner goes, a throw to DeLeon from McGuire's little high. DeLeon jumps up and gets it, applies a tag for out number 2. 1-2 count now on Shepardson. For Quinn, that was stolen a base attempt number 3 on the season. That's the first time he's been caught. The 1-2, swinging at it is Shepardson. It's into center field, and Andreon going to let it drop. It's a 2-out base hit. Batting in the 9 hole is Tristan Stacy. Pinch ran in the last game. It was a 5-4 win for the BJs. 2 away. He singled in the second, was left on first base after the ground out to Matt Cavanaugh from Sardashny, who's on deck. It was a beautiful play from Cavanaugh. Great way to end the inning, get the Larks back some momentum. First pitch misses outside, 1-0. The 1-0 from Divis catches the part of the zone. Late call from the umpire, 1-1. Stacy's from Romana, California, played at New Mexico State. The 1-1 to him, called strike 2. Off-speed pitch from Divis in the zone. Or 1 strike away again from heading to the top of the 5th. Divis step back on the mound. Checks on the runner at first. Agrees with the sign from McGuire. He delivers the 1-2. It's lined back at him. DeLeon makes the play at belt level. 3 away now as we head to the top of the 5th here on Larks Network. Your Larks lead the BJs 2-1. Leading off the top of the 5th is Alex Strachan, the first baseman for the Larks. First pitch to him called strike 1. Oh, 1 on the first baseman from Alabama. He checks his swing here, misses low and outside, 1-1. Strachan on the day singled in the first, was stranded on second base, and then was hit by a pitch in the third, was stranded on first base on back-to-back flyouts to Stacy in center field. He turns on this one, hits it over the third baseman Moore, who can't make a play on it. We'll see if they rule that an error or an hit. If it's an error, it'll be the second of the game for the BJs, and it is. Rule it an E5 leadoff base runner for the Larks in Alex Strachan. Larks fans, don't forget to follow the Larks on Twitter, Facebook, and on YouTube. The handles are on your screen. George Sutherland at the plate now, 0 for 1 on the day. Had that sacrifice fly RBI in the first and flew out to the center fielder Stacy in the third. First pitch to him, called ball. The 1-0 to Sutherland. Cole Evans still on the mound. He delivers. Sutherland hits it at line drive out of play over the left side, 1-1. Sutherland came into this game with the second best batting average on the Larks roster, batting .429. Only Justin Lee is ahead of him. He's now 0 for 1 on the day. That drops him. Justin Lee still holding that lead, getting the day off with an injury. The 1-1, high and outside, 2-1. Seemed to be just a rolled ankle for Lee. Glad to have just that maintained, because Larks cannot afford to lose any other guys with Luna out, Brandon hurt, and now Justin Lee's out as well. It's 2-1. Larks have one of the shallowest rosters in the KCLB, if not the shallowest in terms of number of players. The 2-1 to Sutherland. Swing at it, fouling it right back at the net. It's 2-2. Both teams wearing camo jerseys on this Tuesday evening. Larks wearing their red camos. Blue Jays wearing their red, white, and blue digital camos. 2-2. Runner on first. And Alex Strachan on deck is Jared Belbin. Yanez in the hole. Evans going to look over at Strachan. Has checked on him a couple times. He's going to check over him again. Not in time. Strachan barely had to even dive back. Strachan not one of the riskier lead takers. Justin Lee likes to bounce around the base paths, get in the pitcher's head. Strachan immobile over there at first base. Sutherland swings at this one, skies it into center field. Stacy running in. He'll make the catch on the move for out number 1. Sutherland, 2 flyouts to center field in his last 2 at-bats. Up next is Jared Belbin, 0 for 1 on the day. A flyout to Stacy in center field to end the top of the third, and a walk in the first. For Jared Belbin, that was walk number 10 on the season. This one to him is grounded past the glove of Holdren at second base, advancing Strachan over to second base. Runners on first and second with only 1 away here in the top of the 5th. Larks looking to extend their 1-run lead. First hit of the day for Belbin. Yanez at the plate now. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Struck out in the first to leave 3 guys on, and then flew out to Sardashti to start the top of the 4th. Larks scored 1 in that 4th inning, 1 in the first. BJs have only scored their 1 run in the second. 1 away, runner in scoring position, and Alex Strachan over there at the second base spot. Delivery to Yanez outside, 1-0. Controversial calls from the umpires last night. You could name a handful just in those last 3 innings. Umpire at the behind the plate spot being consistent tonight. The 1-0 to Hernan Yanez, grounded over to the shortstop. Shepherdson gets it to Holdren at second base for 1, who turns it to Truslow for 2. It's a 6-4 double play. It's the second time today Yanez has ended the top of the inning with an out. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th here on Larks Network. Larks lead the rivals, the BJs, 2-1.
James Sardashny.
2-1 lead for the Larks as we head to the bottom of the 5th. You're tuned into Larks Network. This is Carson Akron on the call, and I'm joined by Larks catcher and fan favorite, Mikey Gangwish. Mikey, how you doing?
Good. It's fun to be up here for the night. Let's watch the game from a different angle.
How was your experience in last night's game, to say the least?
Well, my night ended a little early, not exactly like the way you'd like to go out of a game, but when you've got a disagreement with an umpire, sometimes it'll come to a spot when it no longer works out, especially when you spend 8 innings back there with them, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. A little bit of an early exit. I'm sad that I couldn't be a part of the end of that game, but we're here today, got the lead right now, and hopefully can pull out a W.
It's a 2-1 lead for the Larks. Davis, if things hold steady, will get his 3rd win of the season. This one's flied out to Sutherland in left field. 1 away here for the Larks on the Sardashny flyout that he's 0 for 3 on the day now.
It's a pretty tough ballpark to hit in from what I've seen. The wind has been blowing in all series for us, and ball just doesn't like to go. It looked like he got a hold of that one, but George still coming in on that ball to make the out.
Larks this is one of their lower scoring ways to start a series, lead the entire KCLB in runs. We had Russ and Hays on the mic in the Clearwater series tonight, Mikey Gangwish. We're going to do what we did with Russ. If you have questions for the catcher for the Larks, drop them in the comment section. This one's lined over to Belbin in right field. He makes the catch on the line. Fly out 2 away here to start the 5th inning.
Once again, looked like pretty solid contact, but just the ball going nowhere here. The humidity and the wind playing a factor. Storm looked like it was going to come in earlier, but looks like we're clear for now. Lights are on, and field looks good.
And Davis is also looking good on the mound, has allowed 5 hits through 4 2/3, 1 earned run. First pitch to Corbin Truslow is popped out of play. Yanez giving chase over to it from the hot corner. It's 0-1.
Truslow, soon to be a Fort Hays Tiger. Coach Jared Goodell decided to bring him in. He initially started playing football at Colorado School of Mines and decided to come back and play baseball. What I'd consider a good decision. Baseball is definitely the way to go.
0-1 to him. Swung and a miss. It's 0-2.
not happy with himself there. Looks like a changeup from Divis, who is quite effective with that pitch. Fun guy to catch, locates the ball really well, and at UTA has been effective for them.
0-2. Divis will deliver from the stretch. Delivery outside part of the plate, framing it as McGuire. We'll head to the top of the 6th after a 1-2-3 bottom of the 5th. Divis retiring the BJs in order. Larks lead at 2-1. You're tuned in to Larks Network.
You're tuned in to the Larks Network.
We're here live in Liberal, Kansas for the top of the 6th inning. Larks lead the BJs 2-1. New pitcher for the BJs is number 4, Trevor Pruitt. He's from UTA, from Arizona. 13 innings pitched through 4 appearances. No decisions yet for him. Has struck out 14, 4 walks, allowed 7 hits, has an ERA of .069.
Soon to be battle of UTA teammates here when we get either Matt or Wyatt up to bat.
0-1 is the count on McGuire. Both pitchers into the game, Divis and Pruitt from UTA. As I mentioned earlier, Larks had another pitcher from UTA, Michael Wong. He was shut down by UTA's coaches. Matt Cavanaugh, another UTA guy, has pitched 4 innings for the Larks, no earned runs, according to the KCLB website. 0-2 after the foul ball from McGuire.
Matt's been put into a pretty tough role as a position player, having to pitch. With the Larks, our lineup being so shallow, we've had to get contributions from people in not their normal spots, including me playing first base. I had my first college appearance, not exactly the way I'd like to go, with 1 error in each appearance I've made there, but, you know, we're learning as we go.
Mikey Gangwish played at the Colorado School of Mines with Nash Neff, who had the 10 earned runs in Game 4 of the Park City Rangers series. Gangwish, 2019 preseason All-America, 2018 Rawlings Regional Player of the Year, and 2018 Rawlings First Team America, putting together a solid, to say the least, a great resume in his time outside of Denver. Turning on this one is McGuire will reset 1-2 delivery for the 4th pitch of the at-bat. So you played in Colorado. This is your 3rd year with the Larks. What was your decision, the factors that contributed to you wanting to come back for year number 3 in a blue and red jersey?
Well, as a senior, I was hoping to get an opportunity, whether as a draft or a free agent. So far, that hasn't worked out for me, but it's a great place to be. The people of Hays treat you amazingly, and I have a really good host family, Brenda and Ryan Bickle, who take great care of me, and I got 2 little host brothers who are fun to be around. And it was a little bit of a safety net for me if those things didn't work out, a place to go and um, work on my craft and maybe get an independent deal or go play internationally, kind of depending on what I could do. Uh, but it's worked out for me so far. I'm looking for those options now, and Coach Leo's done a good job of accommodating me in the ways that I need.
De Leon, after the strikeout, looking for McGuire, went away, first pitch to him, 1-0, and Mikey looking for that offer from the next level, and he's putting together a solid rep for him this season with the Larks. 342 batting average, leads the entire league in walks, 24 total bases, has 2 home runs, tied for the lead with the Larks. 2-0 on JDL.
Yeah, as a player working on my craft, one of the things I struggled with early in career was seeing at pitches and swinging outside of my zone. And as I've gotten older, I've honed that in, and it's really come together this summer so far. In my walk swinging a wood bat, you got to be selective and get good pitches to hit. And as the numbers show, my walks have gone up a lot and my strikeouts have gone down, and I'd like to keep that trend moving and start hitting the ball for some extra base hits here.
3-1 hitters count for Jimmy De Leon. Gangwish brings power, contact, and defense to the Larks. What's the part of your game that you pride yourself the most on?
Well, throughout my career, it's always been defense. As a catcher, that's one of those positions that sometimes you'll give up offense for. And early in my career, that is something that we had to do at Colorado School of Mines. But through my time in Hays, I've worked on my offensive craft and gotten a lot better swinging the bat, and came together my junior year and my senior year as well. And that was definitely with the help of getting at bats and the playing baseball in Hays, where competition is really good and you're going to get at bats. Coach Leo is going to take care of you, and it's going to be an enjoyable time while you do it.
It's an arguable topic, but personally, I don't think it's arguable. Catcher was voted on by MLB players as the most physically grueling spot to play in the baseball diamond. It's a 6-pitch walk for De Leon. How has having 2 other guys to rotate through, having that 3-guy catcher rotation, helped you out this season in terms of getting rest and being ready to go for the next game?
Oh, it's huge. When you're playing summer ball, it can be grueling at times. You're playing every day. You're trying to get stronger, working out in the weight room, and having 3 catchers allows you to get your workouts in and be serious about them, not just kind of go through the motions. And when you do get those days off, you got to take care of it and get your workout in, and then the next day come ready to play, whether you're sore or not. But having 3 guys always allows you to play at the top level when you're in the game.
Andron back to the top of the order. It's 1-0 on him. Andron 2 for 3 on the day, extending his hit streak. Has a single and a double, a triple and a home run away from the cycle. Has 1 triple and 1 home run in the season. That home run in the Dodge City series, that was in Game 2, that got the momentum swinging for Wyatt Divis and company. Divis picked up his first win of the year on the mound. Check over at Jimmy De Leon. Truslow can't get a glove on it. De Leon's going to advance to second. Round second base, head to third. Frank Leo yelling at him to slide, and he advances to third, Billy Hamilton style.
Really good opportunity here for the Larks with a good hitter, Drake Andron's future Fort Hays Tiger as well, just to put a ball in play and force the defense to make a play with his speed and hopefully drive in a run.
So it'll be good for Andron. He's familiar with Larks Park because he's played there with the Larks, and he's familiar with this field playing in Dodge City Community College. How has being a veteran of the Larks organization helped you out this year?
Well, there's just a lot of young guys around, and having been through the process, it's changed a little bit being in the new league. But all these places are familiar. You're not concerned. You're not going to a different place where you're going to feel overwhelmed by a crowd or a different atmosphere, and just understanding when you're going to be able to get your lifts in and get better in whatever way you can.
One of the things Gangwish known for is that facial hair above his lip. Lark started to grow with the Stash Bros early in the season. Neff, Reuter, several other guys, and Gangwish Rocket won. What's your decision? Because you've had facial hair your whole time in the career. What's the decision leading to the stash this season?
Well, during our college season, I had grown out a full beard, and with that, I decided to roll with it. And throughout the playoffs, made a progression from the full beard to some other questionable, we'll put it that way, questionable facial hair decisions. And at the end of the time, I decided to rock a full mustache. And showing up in Hays, being an older guy, the mustache is always a power move. Make sure everyone knows that you're the old guy on the team. And since then, we've just rolled with it. Some of the other guys have bought into it, and we're having fun with it.
RBI base hit for Drake Andron, his second of the game. That's the second time De Leon scored this game, driving his run total now to 17. RBI for Andron, number 14. A lot of guys in the MLB, when their team goes on a winning streak or a hitting streak, they'll continue to grow out their beards or whatever facial hair they're rocking. Are you superstitious with yours, or are you just doing it for style?
No, we're just doing it for fun. It's summer ball is always a time to experiment with different things and have fun with it. And when you got a group of guys who's never played together, if you can find something like some facial hair or some batting glove styles or whatever it may be to kind of bring a group together and have some fun, it's always a good way to go. And the guys liked the mustache early, and son Nash Neff helped me out and brought his on, dyed it, make sure everyone could see it since it's not as powerful as he'd like it to be. But we're moving on and having fun with it.
Speaking of powerful, Gangwish tied for the Larks lead in home runs, has 2. What's been your mindset going in, trying to add to that total, known as one of the most powerful guys in the league?
You know, as a power hitter, you're looking in early in counts to get pitches to drive. Throughout the year, I haven't been getting pitched to as much as I'd like, being a veteran of the league and having had good numbers in college. But, you know, when you get pitches to hit early in counts, you got to be ready to go. You got to be aggressive. But then as you get later in counts, you're not looking to do as much with it. So, you know, just early in counts looking for a pitch to drive, and if I get one, go from there.
Matt Cavanaugh at the plate, stealing his Andron, now leads the league in stolen bases with 11. It's full count to Cavanaugh. It's full count. Coming out of the dugout is a BJ's coach. Going to come and talk to his catcher who took one off the hand. Andron, one of the speediest guys in the league. That was stolen base number 11, leads not just the Jayhawk West, but the entire KCLB. Larks have the most stolen bases of any team in the league, also have the most hits. Coming in this one with 157, the closest was their opponent tonight, the BJs, with 112 runs scored. Larks had 157 runs scored. Also have the most hits, 187, most singles, most doubles, most triples. Only hit stat they don't lead in is home runs, have 8. BJ's lead it with 14.
We'll have to start working on that once we get back to Larks Park and we get out of the wind blowing here in Liberal, Kansas. Hopefully you can get rolling with it.
It's a ground ball to Shepardson. They're going to tag Andron out for out number 2. We saw a similar situation with a throw over to the third that the umpire hesitated on the call last night. Kind of led to Mikey joining me in the booth tonight.
Yeah, Andron looked to be aggressive there on that play, trying to move up on a ground ball right to the shortstop and get in his way a little bit, but shortstop stayed strong, made the play and made the throw to third. Cavanaugh ending up on first.
So it's a battle of the Mavericks here on the mound. Trevor Pruitt played at UTA with Wyatt Divins hitting from the left-handed side. And it's Cavanaugh on first base. Another UTA guy reached on that fielder's choice. This one is in the dirt. Advancing is Cavanaugh. He stands at second base now.
Cavanaugh taking advantage of the mistake from his teammate. Looks like he had a few words for him as well. See if the pitcher on the mound can stay focused with another battle with a teammate and chance to drive in a run here for Wyatt Divis.
I know when we pulled up to Clearwater and we saw the dirt field, Justin Lee got excited. He likes to slide
across the dirt base paths. When it comes to being a catcher and digging in behind the plate, what do you like to play on, the turf infield or a dirt one like here?
Well, if you've got a nice dirt field, I'm a purist. If you can play baseball on grass and dirt, that's how it should be done. But in college, with the early season, it's hard with the snow, as Fort Hays has seen and we have seen at School Mines. Turf isn't bad. The only problem is it can be pretty bouncy at times. I personally am not a big fan of this field here. They have a pretty heavy clay home plate area that it's pretty sticky, hard to move in around, and when you go to block, you get stuck often. But personally, dirt and grass if it's good, like Colorado School Mines, and then if not, turf is always effective as long as they take care of it.
2-1 on Divis. He turns, grounds this one over to Holdren, who makes it in time to Truslow for out number 3. Larks get one on the Angeron base hit. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Larks lead the BJs 3-1. You're tuned in to Larks Network.
You're tuned in to the Larks Network.
Bottom of the 6th here at Brent Goldfield in Liberal, Kansas. Larks down 3-1.
The Larks are up 3-1.
My bad. This one grounded over to Yanez, making the play off a hop at the waistline. It's in time distraction for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out. Great way to start the 6th inning if you're Wyatt Divis.
Hernan's just a great baseball player. You put him anywhere on the field, he's going to make plays. He's going to make it look easy. Guy's got an absolute hose behind the dish, and he's even gone on the mound for the Larks a few times this year and been effective in that role.
Yanez starting at third base, started at third base last night, came in to catch. And Gangwish mentioned earlier, started at catcher, started at third, and on the mound. A lot of guys that are considered position players on the defense coming in to pitch. Kavanaugh's came in and pitched 4 innings. Brooke Brandon came in and pitched 1. Yanez has came in and pitched a few. That's the beauty of Summer League.
Guys getting out of their comfort zone on a baseball field is always a good thing. You know, summer ball's about getting better in one way or another. And if that's going on the mound to learn what it's like on the mound, it's you can get better that way. Max McGuire with a great play on a pretty high pop fly right behind home plate, staying true and reading the backspin really well and making it look easy.
3 pitches, 2 outs to start the 6th inning. Justin Quinn up now, 0 for 1 on the day, a strikeout and a single. He's getting his third look at Divis, still going strong here through 5 2/3.
Divis really attacking today with the wind and the unfriendly hitting ballpark here today. Just going after guys early, kind of forcing guys to put the ball in play and using his defense behind him.
We're in a significant weather advisory. The last time we were in one of those, game was ruled over in the 7th inning in Hays. And then similar in Dodge City, another significant weather advisory took us to the 6th inning. Game was over. Larks won it.
Flags are starting to blow a little bit more, a little bit harder. Dead end from center field right now. Not what we're looking for if we're trying to increase those power numbers, but good for pitcher Wyatt Divis on the mound.
Storms are moving in. One giant one west of us. This one's fouled off. It's 2-2. 2-2, 2 away, nobody on for Justin Quinn. No movement in the Larks bullpen. Not sure who they'd have there to catch it right now with Gangwish up in the booth. McGuire behind the plate and Yanez at third. And then no defensive subs tonight. Everybody's hurt. This one is popped over left side. Yanez racing to it. Makes the play. Crashes into the fence. 3 up, 3 down. Divis retires the BJs in order. We'll head to the top of the 7th. Larks lead their rivals, the BJs, 3-1. You're tuned in to Larks Network. Top of the 7th, Larks have a 2-run lead, 3-1. New pitcher is Trevor McDonald for the BJs. He comes into this game. Started in left field last night. On the season, he has a 3.6 flat ERA, 2 earned runs, 3 hits through 5 innings pitched. No decisions yet. This is his 4th appearance. Larks fans, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Won't cost you a dime. Turn on post notifications. You'll get notified every time we go live for every game this season. 1-0 on the right-handed hitting Alex Strachan.
Some bright orange cleats. Interesting decision for a light blue and red team out of the pitcher Trevor McDonald. See how that plays out for him.
2-0 misses high at the eye level. It's 3-0.
Anytime you can get a leadoff hitter on, it's a good sign for an inning. It puts pressure on the pitcher and on the defense to make some plays.
He takes this one. Didn't agree with it. He'll step back in the box silently. 3-1 hitters count. Strachan on the day. He's 1 for 2. Reached on the air, singled, and hit by a pitch has respaced in all 3 attempts. Looking to make it 4 in a row here. Full count to him. Strachan on the season, coming this one batting .250, has only appeared in 3 games coming up to this point. It's fouled off. It'll be pitch number 7 from McDonald.
Looks like he expanded his zone a little bit there. Wasn't too happy with himself, but still on a 3-2 count in a good spot to get on base to lead off an inning.
This is game 2 of this 4-game series. It's going to be a 7-pitch strikeout for Strachan, who was up 3-0 in the count. That's the first time he's been sent to the dugout tonight. 1 away. This is game 2 of this 4-game series. You can catch games 3 and 4 right back here on Larks Network. And then Saturday, mark your calendars, it's Larktoberfest. Food starting at 6 p.m., baseball at 7. Thank you to Ken Winholz, the PA announcer, for the reminder. Sutherland at the plate now. It's 1-0 on him.
It's always a great time when you got Larktoberfest going. A lot of people come out to the ballpark and get a big crowd, and we'll have a lot of fun. Hopefully, win a ball game, do some cool things on a baseball field. The more people, the better. We always love to have big crowds.
It's the Valley Center Mud Daubers. That'll be game 1 of the 4-game series. It'll be the first look at the Larks this season. Larks Park, one of the, if not the best park to play out in terms of fan atmosphere. I'd say it's the best, but I'm biased. What's it like to have that support from your community backing you up each time you go to the bat?
Oh, it makes absolute all the difference. I mean, you go places in Wichita where you're playing in front of 50 people, and it's really not. It's hard to focus during summer sometimes when you got those smaller crowds. You really got to take that little extra bit to lock in when you're on the road and you're not playing in front of those big crowds. But in Hays, we always have, whether it's a Tuesday night or a Friday or Saturday night, we're going to have big crowds and really supporting our team as a whole. And they show that through the host families and everyone else in the community, whether it's the sponsorships or just the people, whether you're at the grocery store and you're wearing a Lark shirt and they tell you good luck or ask you how you're doing and how things are going. You know, it makes all the difference in the world. It makes summer ball a lot easier and a lot of fun. So
2-0 to Jared Belbin now. Larks community, when it comes to baseball, unmatched in terms of fan response. You go down to Clearwater or in Wichita, as Gangwish mentioned, not nearly the same atmosphere. Larks fans pulling into every game, stadium packed every night. We're only about a third full here in Liberal, Kansas. The 2-0 to Belbin inside, 3-0 back-to-back. 3-0 counts here. George Sutherland walked. 2 3-0 counts here. 1 to Strachan. Strachan later struck out on 7 pitches. Belbin here, this one called strike 1.
McDonald really putting himself in tough counts early. The first 3 hitters going 3-0. Really gives hitters a chance to go get a good pitch to drive. Let's see if the Larks can take advantage.
The 3-1, he turns on this one, lines it hard in the right field. Sutherland's going to round second. He's speeding like a demon. Belbin rounds first, heads into second. Sutherland's going to be held at third by head coach and third base coach Frank Leo. Runners on second and third, 1 away. Larks up 3-1 in the top of the 7th.
Pretty tentative move from Coach Leo there. Sutherland was rounding the base before the ball was even caught by the second baseman out there in right field. Ball that got all the way to the wall, and hoping to send him there, score a run, put the pressure once again on McDonald, see if he can make pitches, even have to load the bases here. Yanez a good hitter. Just all he's got to do is put the ball in play here with 1 out.
That's the second hit of the day for Belbin. Walked in the first, flew out in the third, singled in the 5th, now doubled in the 7th. That's an important double right there. If he would have stayed at first, setting up a double play, that could have ended this top of the inning. However, he's at second base with only 1 away. BJ's making a defensive shift, moving in, expecting a suicide squeeze maybe, or just a simple conventional squeeze play.
Pretty tough block for the catcher on a spiked fastball. Looks like the umpire is going to go check the mound, maybe tell him that he's got to wipe off his hand or come set. Pretty unconventional for an umpire to go clean the rubber off the mound. Had some unconventional umpiring yesterday out of that same umpire. But looking here to take advantage of runners on second and third here with Yanez up. And once again, ball 1 out of Trevor McDonald.
Yanez on the day, 0 for 3, a strikeout, a flyout, and a double play. He swings at this one, tips it off, 1-1. Yanez struck out in the last game on a pitch that hit his elbow guard. You heard it up here. I believe the umpire ruled that his elbow was in the strike zone.
One of those new rules in college that has caused some questionable decisions and put the umpires a little bit more into the game of play than players would like. Something that is understandable. You don't want hitters leaning into pitches, but in the past they'd just be ruled a ball, and now they're trying to punish hitters for making making changes.
This one skied out into left center field. It'll get down. The miscommunication between Sardashny and Stacy. Belvin will be held at third. It's a double for Yanez. If they don't roll an error, coming around to score is Sutherland. That's his first run scored of the game. Drove in one on the sacrifice fly in the first inning. 4-1 lead for the Larks here. Much different than last night's ball game.
Ball right in between the left and center fielder. That ball's got to be communicated early. Yanez hit that ball really well. Tracking back was the center fielder, and he seemed to have some miscommunication.
It's ruled hit number 8, not an error. Up next is Max McGuire, guy who led off the last inning. He struck out there looking, struck out swinging in the fourth, and walked in the second looking first hit today. It's 0-1 on him. 2 runners in scoring position, 1 at second, 1 at third, and Hernan Yanez and Jared Belbin respectively.
Infield in once again, really trying to put the pressure on McGuire to hit the ball in the air, hit the ball hard somewhere. Once again, catcher makes another nice block on what looked to be a pretty tough pitch to block.
McDonald goes from the stretch. It's a righty. It's easier for him to check Belbin over at third base, who's trying to move over there, get in his head. McGuire pops this one up, out of play. Getting over there to it is Trustlow. It's over the Larks dugout. 1-2 now on McGuire.
Now with 2 strikes, McGuire just looking to simply put a ball in play, try and force the defense to do something. The more pressure, the better on the defense. When you're up by 3 runs, you really got to try and take advantage of it.
It's 1-2 to McGuire. Will reset. McDonald will go from the stretch here. Delivers it to McGuire, who turns on it, sends it deep into center field. Stacy giving it chase out in mid-center field. He makes the catch. Tagging up is Belbin and Yanez. Yanez stops in his track. Belbin comes around to score, making it a 4-run lead for the Larks. 5 runs scored on the day. RBI for McGuire, first on the day.
Yanez doing a great job there, tagging up at second base, forcing the center fielder to make the throw to third base. It's just a smart baseball play out of him, giving Belbin an easy chance to score on the sac fly there. Once again, that wind really playing a factor. That ball's hit pretty well, but really the center fielder had to take a few steps in on what seemed to be pretty well struck baseball.
RBI number 3 on the season for McGuire. Scoring is Belbin. That's run number 18. This one hit into shallow center field. Stacy's doing a better job of communicating on this one. He'll make the catch for out number 3. We'll head to the 7th inning stretch here in Liberal, Kansas. Larks up 5-1.
You're tuned in to the Larks Network.
The 7th inning has been stretched. We're live here in the bottom of the 7th. Wyatt Divis returning to the mound for his 7th inning of work. He's thrown a great game so far, only 1 earned runs, 5 hits through 6 innings.
You know, Larks fans, I'm really looking for those questions. Keep us rolling here in the booth as we watch the Larks up 5-1 here. Wyatt Divis just looking to have another good inning here. Attack early and often and see if we can get some quick outs.
He's not quite as high in pitch count as Christian Piercy was late in the game before he was pulled last night. His first pitch to number 20, Trevor Beard, the catcher, misses 1-0.
Piercy, one of those guys that's always going to compete for you on the mound. He always wants the ball in his hand, whether it's late in the game or early in the game, no matter how many pitches he's throwing.
This one's hit into right field. Giving chase is Belbin. It'll miss foul, 1-1.
Belbin really kind of can play all over the field, an Australian native. Just looking to get at bats wherever he can, and being a utility guy, it's pretty effective for him. He plays first base anywhere in the infield and can play the corner outfields as well.
Larks have quite a few of those utility guys. We've seen Matt Cavan all over the field. Divis in third base, left field on the mound. Mikey Gangwish, normally a catcher, DH, as this one's hit out to Belbin. Barely has to move for out number 1. Saw him start at first base. You said that was an unfamiliar position. What was your mindset going into facing a position that you weren't exactly as familiar with as you are behind the plate?
You know, just like catching, you got to catch the ball. When at first you got to keep your foot on it in first play of the game. Ball's going to find you in baseball, and I couldn't find the bag with my left foot. Cost my team a run, but you know, I'm starting to get a little bit more familiar with it, and hopefully going to get better at it every day. Just trying to make myself the best baseball player I can and play wherever it is. I played some third base in college, just to give myself a break from defense or from behind the dish. And you know, it's third base is a tough position. You're going to get some balls hit hard at you, just like you are at first base. You got a little bit bigger of a glove over there at first base, which as a catcher I can always appreciate.
2 away now after George Sutherland had a great reaction to the lineup. This one's bunted. McGuire gets it in time to stretch and retiring the side on only a handful of pitches as Divis will head to the top of the 8th. Larks leading their rivals, the BJs, 5-1. Back here, top of the 8th, Drake Andron leading it off. Now pitching is number 28, J.J. Ritz from San Diego, California, played at UCCS. So we had our first question in the comment section from Doug Fonso. Said, Mikey, what did you do or say to get ejected last night?
Well, after the throw down to third, I had started to walk off the field, thought I had got the guy out at third, but didn't actually, and then looked back at the umpire. Russ was not often throwing fastballs, and had thrown a fastball right down the middle. So I thought we had gotten the third out in multiple different ways. Didn't work out for us. I turned to the umpire and asked him. I said, do you not have strike 3? To which he didn't really respond. I said that was right down the middle, and I guess that was enough to get me ejected. Me and him shared a few choice words after that, after I'd worked hard for him behind the dish all day. But, sometimes an umpire just takes your tone of voice in the wrong way. As a catcher, you hope to get a little bit more respect than that, get a little bit more leeway as you're back there working hard for him, protecting him from balls in the dirt or foul balls, whatever it may be. Drake Andron just hit a hard line drive single to get the inning going for the Larks.
1-1 now in Kavanaugh. That was Andron's 4th hit of the day, 4th straight. He's 4 for 5, increasing that batting average. He was coming in batting .400, now has 32 hits through 74 at-bats. Trying to go for that Larks record. He's already almost halfway to it. Another line drive, this one into right field again. Kavanaugh's going to reach base for his first hit of the ball game. A walk, a strikeout, a fielder's choice, and now a single. Runners on first and second with 2, the fastest guys on the squad. Andron at second. Leads the league in stolen bases, looking to add his total here, maybe with nobody out.
Matt, normally a defensive replacement at UTA this year, has really come alive offensively, hoping to transition that into his school ball. But yeah, playing third base for them this year and some shortstop. Normally as a defensive replacement, has done just a fabulous job for the Larks this year, hitting in the 2-hole and basically fielding everything in his path there at shortstop.
Pitcher to pitcher action here. Divis at the plate facing off against Ritz. We got a guy in the Larks bullpen. Can't quite make out who it is, but there's no catcher there for him. Pitch to Divis, misses outside. It's 2-0.
Looks like it might be Tommy Garcia, a guy who has been very effective late in the Larks bullpen. Without having me on the field, it's hard with only 2 catchers, especially when one of them is playing third base tonight, being so shallow and on our staff.
This one is lined into shallow left field. Andron's going to be held at third. Bases are loaded with nobody out for the guy in the cleanup spot, Strachan.
Once again, Leo holding up a guy, rounding third. Probably the fastest guy in the league, though I will have to agree with this one. That ball was not hit very well, hit pretty shallow, that wind really holding it up. Larks in a good position here to score some runs and extend this lead, hopefully rebound after last night's loss. That was pretty tough.
Frank Leo flashing that experience there. He's experienced a lot of this game, has a lot of knowledge. He's a 2005 Kansas Sports Hall of Fame inductee, 2015 NBC Hall of Fame inductee, Region 5 Coach of the Year in 1998, Kansas Coach of the Year in 1998, and Class 5A Coach of the Year in 94.
Please return all foul balls.
Being my 3rd season with Coach Leo, it's definitely been a pleasure. This Hays Larks baseball is very important to him, just like it is the rest of the community. It's fun to play for someone in summer that takes it so seriously. Some places don't do that, and it makes a difference. You see the Larks have consistently been very good from my first 2 years making it to the championship and then the semifinal, and then last year winning the Jayhawk once again. Sad to see the Jayhawk have folded after last year, but this league seems to be providing some competition for the Larks, even though we have won many games this year.
Frank Leo played at Fort Hays State University, but before that he played with the University of Albuquerque. I hear you're a little familiar with that town.
Yep, Albuquerque is my hometown. He played there first and then to Fort Hays, and what a difference in atmospheres that has got to be for a guy playing in the mountains to going out to the plains of Kansas. Something I have a little experience with. My dad's family is from Shelton, Nebraska, which is just about 2.5 hours north of Hays. But boy, it is different. The humidity is pretty tough, and ball doesn't travel quite like it does in Albuquerque.
And it's a strikeout for Strachan. That's back-to-back and back-to-back innings. Up next, setting up the double play, it's George Sutherland, one away, bases loaded.
Sutherland, one of those guys that's pretty tough to double up, pretty quick out of the box from the left side, hoping to put a ball in play and at least get one run here. Pitcher from UCCS only threw a few innings this year for them, a couple against us at Colorado School of Mines in what was a pretty tough series. That team was a good team this year, looking to get better each year at being a new program.
This one's fouled off, making it an 0-2 count. Swinging at this outside pitch, protecting the plate is Sutherland. It's 0-2 on him early. He is 0 for 2 in the day, 2 flyouts, a walk, and a sacrifice fly, a run scored, and an RBI.
With 2 strikes here, just looking to put the ball in play, put pressure on this defense, on this field. You know, once you put the ball in play, you know, nothing, you can't control it, but the more likely it is you're going to score a run.
It's 1-2 on him now. He had the bases loaded on the mound with nothing out. So you're the catcher there. What do you do in that position to compose your picture and get him ready to get the next 3 outs?
You know, you're just trying to get him to focus in just a little bit more here with one or with no outs. You're looking for a strikeout, but you can't be too fine with it because anytime you get down in the count, you're looking at the hitter looking to drive in 2 runs. So you got to attack early, see if you can get a double play. If you can get that double play early, you will you'll be able to minimize those runs.
2-2 now on Georgie. He swings at this one, and it's fouled off the end of his bat. Drew Marufo in the comment section not traveling with the team.
You know, Drew's been a good arm for us this year. Has been hindered a little bit by an injury. We're looking to get him back here soon. Really talented pitcher out of New Mexico. Originally a catcher, being a New Mexico guy, you know, that always brings that fun connection, and UNM guy even better.
2-2 to Sutherland. It's inside. It's full count here with 1 away. Bases jacked.
Real dangerous position if you're the Liberal BJs here. 3-2. You know, Sutherland looking for anything close, but you know, as a pitcher, you really got to attack here. You can't walk in a run. Never want to give up free runs.
Sutherland looking to add to his RBI total. Has 1 today already. He swings at this one, gets it over to the second baseman, Holdren, who bounces off his glove. The throw from the ground, not in time to Truslow. It's an RBI for Sutherland, his second of the day. Coming around to score is Andron. That's the first time he scored today. He's driven in 2 run for Andron. Number 20 RBIs for Sutherland. Number 15-16 today on his 15th game with the Larks.
Once again, that speed coming into play when you put the ball in play. If you're going to give yourself a chance to score a run, maybe even 2, just allows you to drive a guy in.
1-0 reads the count to the guy who is having his birthday, his 19th, coming up this Saturday. It's Jared Belbin. He's 1 for 3 on the day. 1 for 2, 2 walks, a single, and a flyout. It's 1-1 on him here early. Larks up 6-1.
Extending that lead is always a good thing, especially late in games. The more cushion you can give yourself, the better, especially in these big games where the matter immensely for winning the West is if we can win the West, we'll get that spot to the championship week of the NBC.
That is ruled air number 4 for the BJs. Sutherland reaching, getting that RBI. Base is still loaded. Still only 1 away on third. Is Matt Cavanaugh on second. Is Divis first. Is Georgie Sutherland. And it's 1-2 to Belbin. Swings at this one. Fouls it off. A reset. 1-2. Sutherland, a guy from New York. And just like head coach Frank Leo, we got a guys from Arizona, New Mexico. How do you guys all mesh coming from different parts, different colleges, all coming to Hays, Kansas for one summer together?
You know, it's really all about baseball. It's America's pastime, and whether you're playing from Australia, you're from New York, you're from New Mexico or California, if you get a chance to play this game, it's a special thing, and you don't get to play it for your whole life, but you know, having that opportunity to play the game, whether it's here in Hays, Kansas or New York or wherever, That just baseball atmosphere is what brings us together, and especially playing in front of those great crowds in Hays, Kansas.
It's a ground out for Belbin, driving in Kavanaugh. It's the second time Kavanaugh scored today. First RBI on the day for Belbin.
Questionable call at first. Belbin, a pretty speedy guy, looked like he had beat that out. Said umpire we've had issues with this series so far.
2 runs in back-to-back innings for the Larks, making it a 7-1 ball game. At the plate is Hernan Yanez, a switch hitter, batting from the left-handed side. He's had to do that almost every at-bat these past handful of games. Almost every pitcher has been right-handed.
A natural right-handed hitter. Yanez is also a great left-handed hitter, looking for something to drive. Hits that ball hard on the ground, right to the second baseman for out number 3.
So we'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Larks get 2 off of Brits. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Larks 7-1 lead. You're tuned in to Larks Network. Bottom of the 8th here in Liberal, Kansas. Larks up 7-1. Wyatt Divis returning for his 8th inning of work. And we have 2 questions for the guy who hit 46 home runs in his 4 years at the Colorado School of Mines, had 186 RBIs. Question from Sean Lindenberger. He said, Mikey, with position players having success as a pitcher, has Coach Leo asked you to pitch yet?
He's brought it up a few times, but being a catcher, I like to save my arm for throwing runners out as much as I can. I haven't pitched since I was in high school, and having played 4 years, that's kind of been a while. Ball hit hard up in the air. Once again, that wind holding it up for Drake Andron in center. But, yeah, I haven't had the opportunity and don't think I will. I prefer to call the pitches and let the pitchers do their thing rather than stand lonely on the hill and have to make pitches. It's not an easy thing to do, and having position players who are willing to do that has been really big for us this year.
So Divis sitting down, Sterdashny for the 4th time today. 3 flyouts and a ground out. Up next is Brandon Holdren. 2 ground outs on the day for him and a flyout 0 for 3. Divis retiring the first 2 guys every time they stepped up. And we have another question, this one from Mr. Andrew, Drake's father. Mikey, are you interested in winter ball in Australia?
Oh, absolutely. I think that would be just an absolute blast. I have had the opportunity to play, to travel around the world with my family, and going to Australia would just be a great experience. And anytime you get to play baseball and extend your career a little bit, that's something that's all you can ask for, especially as a guy like me who played 4 years and was hoping to get an opportunity in the draft. It didn't work out, but sometimes things happen for a reason. And if that means going to Australia to play this game that I love so much, I'd take that opportunity in a heartbeat. Especially talking to our Australian on the team, Jared Belbin, has said people love to go out and watch baseball there and enjoy it just as much as we do here. And that's something that, if just like in Hays, if you have an opportunity to play in front of big crowds and people enjoy it, you really got to take those opportunities and and run with them.
It's 2 away for Corbin Truslow. Back-to-back fly balls out to Andrew on center field, doing a better job than the center fielder for the BJs did in Tristan Stacy of communicating with his teams. I could hear him up in the press box almost 400 feet away, hearing him yell, calling off his teammates. 2 away, 0-1 count.
Truslow, soon to be a Fort Hays Tigers, is a big kid. Looks like he's got a lot of pop, takes some big swings, and Coach Jared Goodell will take him in along with all the other recruits he's bringing in, hoping to turn that program around, just like he did with Colorado School of Mines. He left me for my senior year, but really built a good base for Coach Bales to take over at Colorado School of Mines, and had a good year this year. And I expect the Colorado School of Mines to do the same, just as I expect the Fort Hays Tigers to really pick it up here in the next few years under Coach Jared Goodell and Jay Sanders.
So you played at the Colorado School of Mines. Nash Neff played there as well. Have you taken him under your wing as this is his first year with your Larks and you're a veteran?
Oh yeah, Nash is one of those kids that's really mature in the things he does, and he looks to get better every day. The kid works harder than almost anybody I've ever seen, and he's always trying to figure out a way to get better. And on the mound, he's looking to kind of find it a little bit right now, something that I expect he'll do pretty easily. Struggled early this year for us and didn't get too many opportunities. I think we'll continue to get more. He's got a very live arm on the mound with one of the best curveballs I've seen, especially out of a young arm. Once he kind of gets that maturity on the mound, gets a little bit more comfortable being out there by himself and put in big situations, I think he'll just continue to mature and be a great baseball player for the Colorado School of Mines.
1-2 count now. You heard him talk about Neff on the mound. He was at a 31 ERA at the Colorado School of Mines, but still managed a 1-0 record. Has an ERA of almost 25 this season with the Larks, but he's early. Hasn't faced that many batters for many innings. So early for him to get that turned around. Larks 4-1 Jayhawk West League. Jayhawk West Division play, looking to make it 5-1 tonight.
Yeah, for Neff, it's just all about throwing strikes. If he can start attacking the zone early in counts, it'll give him an opportunity to really get ahead and not have so many walks. And if he can limit those walks, that ERA will go down.
It's 2-2. Divis still on the mound, has gone 7 2/3. 1 earned runs, 5 hits allowed. Hasn't allowed 1 since the 4th inning.
Looks like that storm is starting to pick up. Wind's starting to pick up. A few lightning strikes here and there. Some of the crowd's starting to exit the stadium as we get a strike out of Truslow on a high fastball and a 2-2 count.
We'll head to the top of the 9th here. Larks up 7-1. Weather moving in. We'll see if we get to finish this one out. As it stands right now, Larks lead 6. You're tuned into Larks Network. game has been called here as we were heading to the top of the ninth. Larks win it 7-1, advance to 5-1 in Jayhawk West Division play. Mikey, what are your thoughts on this game?
You know, a big win, especially being down a few guys, whether it's from the ejection last night or a few injuries that are going to hopefully only hold guys out for a few days. Big to come back after a tough loss last night. And if we can keep moving forward with this one-game winning streak and win tomorrow, we'll put ourselves in a good position to win the West Division. Once again, a big storm coming in, just like it has done in the past here in Liberal. Well, the Hays Larks, this is my third time here and third time I've watched a storm like this roll in.
So Larks advanced to 14-2 overall, 13-1 KCLB, 5-1 on Jayhawk West. They won it here against Liberal, 7-1, taking a tie in this early series, 1-1. This has been Carson Ackerman on the call. I've been joined by Mikey Gangwish. Thank you for tuning in, and good night. Mikey, final thoughts.
Thank you for hanging in with me here in Liberal as I got to watch a game from a different perspective and enjoy it for what it is. This storm is awfully big as it's starting to hit. The BJs are out there running around trying to cover the field as quickly as they can, hopefully get this game in tomorrow. But once again, thank you for having me up in the booth, Carson, and I hope to not do it again, but if an opportunity presents itself, I'd love to work with you.
Hey, it's been great having you. It's been a pleasure. Larks win at 7-1. You've been tuning to Larks Network. We'll see you back here. First pitch at 7 tonight for Game 3. Thank you all for tuning in, and good night.